Operation Ivy, sometimes called Op Ivy, was an American ska punk band, from Berkeley, California formed in May 1987. The band was stylistically important as one of the first bands to mix the elements of hardcore punk and ska into a new amalgam called ska punk and was critical to the emergence of Lookout Records and the so-called East Bay sound. The band's name was derived from the Operation Ivy series of nuclear tests in 1952. Although the band released just one full-length album before breaking up in May 1989, Operation Ivy is well remembered as the direct antecedent of the popular band Rancid and for wielding a lasting stylistic influence over numerous other bands. History Formation Operation Ivy was formed in May 1987 and was named after the codename of a 1952 American nuclear weapons testing program. The name had previously been the original name of the contemporary Berkeley punk band Isocracy. The band consisted of Jesse Michaels, Tim Lind Armstrong, Matt McCall Freeman, and Dave Mello. Prior to the formation of Operation Ivy, Armstrong and Freeman had played together in the Berkeley ska punk band Basic Radio. Operation Ivy's first live performance was on May 27, 1987 in Dave Mello's garage. The next day began a tradition of performances at the Berkeley Punk Collective Center 924 Gilman Street. Operation Ivy began playing a number of performances which led to its almost immediate cult following. After witnessing a live show in Southern California, Joy Aoki of Flipside magazine described the energetic new band as a swell bunch of guys, who mix hard-edged ska with the intensity of young thrash. Recordings. In October 1987, the band made its recording debut with a track on the Maximum Rock 'n' Roll compilation album Turn It Around. In January 1988, the band signed to Lookout Records and released its debut 7-inch record, Hectic, which became one of Lookout's best-selling records. By this time, Operation Ivy, along with Crimp Shrine and the Mr. T Experience, was one of the most successful bands from the punk scene at 924 Gilman Street. The band began playing a number of performances and embarked on a tour across the United States. By mid-1988, the group began selling out larger venues and the pressure to sign to major labels began to rise. Operation Ivy released its only studio album Energy through Lookout in March 1989. The group broke up 2 months later in May, and its last official live performance was on May 28, 1989. This was also Green Day's first performance with the name Green Day at 924 Gilman Street, at what was supposed to have been Operation Ivy's record release party. Operation Ivy played one more unofficial performance the following day, mostly for friends and family, in Robert Eggplant's backyard in Pinole, California. In 2 years, the band had performed 185 shows and recorded a total of 32 songs, as well as songs which were recorded only as demos, such as Hedgecore, Hangin' Out, Sarcastic, and Left Behind. Recordings from their aborted attempt to record Energy at 924 Gilman Street also exist, and include early versions of songs which appeared later on the final studio version of Energy, such as 6 to 10, which evolved into Vulnerability, and an early version of Unity with horn accompaniment and a different chorus. All of its known demos and unreleased recordings are available on bootlegs. Lyrical themes. The lyrics and tone of Operation Ivy's music portray a vociferous desire for social justice and a strong distrust of mainstream conformist culture. Breakup and legacy. Operation Ivy broke up in May 1989. In 1991, 2 years after the group's demise, Lookout Records released a compilation album of 27 tracks including Energy and Hectic in their entirety and the songs Officer, and I Got No from Turn It Around. It was released as a complete discography. Although Operation Ivy released only one studio album, Energy, and had little mainstream success during its career, the band maintained a large underground cult following and influenced numerous bands. An array of artists have covered Operation Ivy songs, most of which are featured on a 1997 tribute album, Take Warning. The songs of Operation Ivy included are recordings by such bands as Long Beach Double Stars covering Take Warning, Real Big Fish covering Unity, Blue Meanies covering Yellin' in My Ear, Cherry Poppin' Daddies covering Sound System, The Hippos covering Freeze Up, and the Aquabats with a campfire-style cover of Knowledge. Other bands to cover Operation Ivy songs include a rendition of Healthy Body by Area-7, Smiling by Goldfinger, Sound System by Buck-09, Caution by No Trigger, and more covers of Knowledge by both Millencolin and Evergreen Terrace. Hollywood Undead released a cover of the song Bad Town in 2010. Green Day recorded a cover of the Operation Ivy song Knowledge for its extended play Slappy, which was later released on the compilation album 1039/Smoothed Out Slappy Hours. Green Day have continued to play the song live. Additionally, Rancid have played Operation Ivy songs at its live performances. Subsequent careers. Two of the band's members, Armstrong and Freeman, have performed with the bands Rancid, the LJS, Dance Hall Crashers, Generator, Basic Radio, Downfall, Devil's Brigade, Shaken 69 and Transplants. Additionally, Freeman has performed with Antichrist, MDC and Social Distortion. Drummer Dave Mello went on to perform in the punk band Schlong with his brother Pat and singer Gavin. Michaels eventually resurfaced with a project band, Big Rig, which released a 4-song EP titled Expansive Heart. In 1999 he formed Kamen Rider, which included bassist Mas Jojny and drummer Dan Lumley. Kamen Rider released a 7-inch EP and 2 studio albums and toured nationwide before disbanding in 2003. B-sides from its second album This Is Unity Music were used in a split EP with the Florida ska core band Against All Authority. During Rancid's US tour in 2006, Armstrong and Freeman played select tracks from their previous band's catalog. At a performance at the Warfield Theatre in San Francisco on December 17, 2006, Michaels reunited with Armstrong and Freeman to perform the tracks Unity as well as Sound System. It was his first time on stage with the two in over 15 years. In 2008, Michaels collaborated with the indie punk group Hard Girls to form a punk band called Classics of Love. The band plays traditional punk rock with Michaels serving as the band's lead vocalist. They released a 6-song EP released on Asian Man Records in 2009, and a full-length record in 2012. Leaving Lookout. On May 4, 2006, it was announced that Energy had officially been removed from Lookout Records' catalog. The album had been one of the label's best-selling albums, after Green Day's first 2 albums. Operation Ivy followed bands such as Green Day, Screeching Weasel, The Queers, and Ted Leo and the Pharmacists in leaving Lookout and taking back the rights to their back catalog due to unpaid royalties. The 1991 compilation Operation Ivy was later reissued on November 6, 2007 by Epitaph Records subsidiary Hellcat Records as a self-titled compilation album. Hellcat Records is former band member Tim Armstrong's label. While the Epitaph reissue's tracklist is identical to the 1991 Lookout release, the 2007 re-release features remastered audio and new digipack packaging. Hellcat reissued the original versions of both Energy and Hectic on red and clear vinyl in April 2012. Reunions. The group has stated a number of times that Operation Ivy reunion is unlikely to happen. Michaels addressed reunion issues in a MySpace blog citing the legal and logistic difficulties in getting the 4 members together for a reunion, as well as the fact that the band never belonged in a big rock club in a 1 to 2,000 seat joint. He concluded the post with the following: "Will it happen? The most honest answer is probably not." Michael's sentiment was later echoed by Tim Armstrong. Footnotes. Band members: Jesse Michaels, lead vocals, Lint, guitar, backing vocals, Matt McCall, bass, backing vocals, Dave Mello, drums, backing vocals, cameo studio appearance, Pat Mello, backing vocals. Discography. Albums and EPs. Compilation appearances. Note, these are compilation albums featuring multiple artists. Most of them contain only 1 or 2 Operation Ivy songs. Bootlegs. External links: Operation Ivy discography at Music Brain's fan site.